Hello everybody and welcome back to the Eco Posh for You YouTube channel. I hope you guys are having a wonderful start to your week so far. Today what we're going to be talking about is accidental purchases in a Posh live show from the perspective of both the seller and the buyer and what you should do when this happens. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so to get this discussion started, what we're going to do is we're going to take an example from somebody that had this experience, that posted about it in the forum, and we're going to look at some comments and then talk about it. So this is what they said their experience was with the accidental purchases. Had a phone glitch in a share show. Had it minimized. Heard my name thinking it was my items. No. Was a bid I didn't bid on. Emailing support. Very small amount, but I said I didn't bid right on the spot. Asked the seller to cancel after the show. She said no, reposhed, and blocked me. LMAO, do not be this seller. Talking about $12 affects her taxes and blocks me. I called it out on the spot. Baby, don't waste your time shipping. You will get a return to sender. Sorry, but not sorry. Don't be that seller. And then if you look at the comments that are listed, people tend to agree that probably she just should have canceled it. Someone says just dumb. If someone asked me to cancel, just cancel. Same, like she's going to try to force me to purchase an accident that I voiced on the spot. What a weirdo. I told her not to waste her time, that if she shipped, I wasn't going to accept the package, and she blocked me. When you place an accidental bid in a show, you're always going to want to contact the seller first. Okay, so if you accidentally bid on an item, just contact the seller and send them a message, let them know it was an accidental bid. Really, if you're in a show and you accidentally bid, you should say something while you're in that show. Just say, hey, I'm so sorry, I accidentally bid, it was a mistake. That's probably the best thing to do. I would say number one. But if for some reason you're embarrassed or there's some reason you don't want to put it in the chat in the show, which I honestly recommend letting them know right away. And the reason that I recommend letting them know right away is because if you accidentally click on somebody's item, okay, somebody else may have bid and won that item. All right. So you're potentially costing them a sale, right? Maybe, maybe not. You don't really have a way to know, but it's better to tell them it's a mistake. That way, if they want, tell them it's a mistake during the auction, because then they're able to put it back in the auction and run it again. And so they can't really be mad at you for accidentally bidding. So as a buyer, if you ask, that's exactly what I would do, number one. But like I said, if for some reason you don't want to message during the show, or your phone rings right after and you can't get, you need to message them as soon as you can. Or message them during the show. At least that way they'll get the message and they'll know that you tried to contact them during the show. So those are definitely the steps that I would take. And it looks like in this case she did try to do that. So at that point, you're going to want to contact Poshmark support. And if you guys haven't seen my video on the best way to contact Poshmark support, that is to use Twitter. And the support has an actual different Twitter account than regular Poshmark. And the support account is at Poshmark support. And just send them a DM. They've always answered me very quickly, I think within 4 to 6 hours. And I feel like that's the best way to get a hold of support. Emailing them, I feel like that takes a while. Honestly, I still get an answer, but it's usually overnight that I get a reply back. But when I send it on Twitter, I get it back really quick. So I would definitely try that then as my next step. And let's see, a lot of people in the comments also expressed concern about, are you allowed to just return to sender? Or do you have to go through the process of a return? I don't think necessarily because you write return to sender on it and you send it back that you're going to get a refund from Posh necessarily. I've seen a lot of different things. I've seen sometimes people getting refunds, sometimes not. So that's one concern. And let's see. Another concern is if you refuse the package and send it back, Poshmark might not give you your money back. So if you just write return to sender on it and just throw the package back in the post office, as opposed to accepting it and then going through the return process through Poshmark, you may not get your money back, is what they're saying. And people are also saying that if you do a chargeback, if you go through the bank or the credit card company instead of working it out with Poshmark, that your account is going to be at risk for suspension. Now, I don't know if that's true or not, but I just wanted to make everybody aware of some of these concerns. A lot of people, in order to not accidentally bid, they're removing their payments from Poshmark. That way, if they accidentally hit a button, it doesn't go through. So that's a way to prevent this from happening. It looks like people are doing that. And someone else has suggested that besides just removing the payment method, that there's something that you can do if you have Apple. You can link it to Apple Pay where a passcode is required to process the payment. So there are a couple things that you can do to protect yourself against accidental bidding during a live auction. All right, and does anybody else remember that there used to be like a slider, like a little slide bar during Posh auctions for like a couple weeks during the live shows where you had to actually slide the button over to purchase? What happened to that? Or am I just nuts and I'm imagining that there was like a button there? Because that's possible too. But I'm like, what happened to that? I think it was a thing. Okay, so let's see what else there is here. Basically, what you need to do to wrap this up, if you're a seller, I think that it is important to just let people go ahead and do the cancellation. You don't want to force somebody to get an item they don't want, number one. Number two, if you decide to, I know everyone says no cancellations and everything like that, but if you force an item on somebody, they could end up, number two, they're going to end up being a pain in the you-know-what, okay? They're going to be a high hun. They're going to be, like, it's just going to be, do you need that in your life? Okay. Number three, they're either going to do a return on it. It's almost guaranteed that they're going to do a return on it. And so you're going to be dealing with Posh support. You're going to be dealing with them. And honestly, there's just so many reasons. It's not worth it. It's really not worth it. That is the best advice I can give you guys. And it looks like that's kind of the consensus among the Poshmark sellers. But I hope you found this helpful, and I hope you guys have a wonderful week.